So we're on my next, I think it's part 3 of my story. There's a few issues that I was thinking about, and I probably should have mentioned that I forgot to mention earlier. One time I was thinking about if Christianity, or what I thought was Christianity, is the true religion, then what would it be like, you know, in heaven? And like, assuming that only those Christians would go to heaven, yeah, because they're on the truth, on the haqq, which they're not. But assuming they were, then, you know, heaven was looking more like, you know, like an old people's home. You know, really boring. I don't know. At that time, I was making comparisons between the world, the earth, and heaven. You know, and of course we don't do that. But to the extent that, you know, I talked to my dad. You know, I remember one time, and I said to him, you know, I don't want to go to heaven. No, please, I don't want to go to heaven, because I don't want to live forever. It's just so boring, you know. If this is life now, and all I have to do is bear patience with that, imagine, you know, forever of that. Oh gosh, man. No, destroy me, please. I don't want to stand that. I can't stand that. But of course, you know, I made a big error. But I think this is what the Christians do as well, or at least those I was around. That they compare the heaven to the earth, you know. So they're actually missing out in their mind even what they're supposed to get. You know, we know from Islam that paradise is what nobody has seen, what nobody has even heard about it, what nobody has even thought about. Okay, so it's not like we can just sit down with our minds and go, so that's what heaven is like, huh? Well, maybe not. Maybe I'd rather this world. Because if people saw the reality of heaven, paradise, you know, what, you know, people would like die for it, literally. You know, as if you'd waste a second here. Yeah, but that's not true. But my dad's response was a little surprising. He like sort of smiled and said, "Huh, yeah, you're very thoughtful," you know, like as if that's a good thought to have. No, I don't want to go to heaven, you know. But like, you know, don't ask me about what my parents think, because I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So where was I? High school, right? High school. Yes. Yes. So just to summarize, I was talking about my previous life. No, sorry, my previous before Islam. I was talking up to maybe 12 years old or 13 years old in high school. Okay, and that's where we stopped. So I'm just going to continue there. Okay, so like, you know how it is to be a kid. If you guys are older than 12, 13, you know what it was like back then. You know, kids, they just want to have fun, you know. And basically, you're just chasing that fun, as much fun as you can have. Yeah, alhamdulillah. I mentioned that my goal in life back then was to be cool. Yeah, right. And you know, I didn't quite make it. You know, actually, like more specifically, you know the popular kids in school, and they always go to parties and they always get drunk and stuff. You know. Basically, I wasn't with them. And if your life goal is to be cool, then you want to be with them. But you know what? Like, I sort of looked at that as a bit, immature. Like, these people. I heard stories. Yeah, okay. I'm sure everyone's heard stories of what happens at those parties. People get drunk and they do weird stuff. Stuff they wouldn't normally do, obviously. And things happen that you can't just change it back to normal. Things happen that change the whole situation with people. And that sort of struck me as so weird. Like, popular kids, right? They want to have the best of everything. Why would they choose this? Because it's like, lowering yourself. You're like acting like animals. I mean, to be honest, back then I would have liked to seen it with my own eyes, but you could say unfortunately or alhamdulillah I did not. You could say Allah willed that I was away from those gatherings, alhamdulillah. And yeah, like, I was with a group of people who were like unpopular, but unpopular in a cool way, like, we used to talk about that show Daria, right? And Daria is like, just to give you a bit of background information from what I remember, she's like the most unpopular kid in school, but she's so smart, but she chooses to be unpopular, or quote unquote unpopular, because like, she doesn't like what mainstream is. I think that's what she's talking about. Like what all those popular kids are and stuff. I really related to that show, man. I was like, yeah, who cares about those popular kids, man? But I mean, I wasn't so smart, so but basically that's the sort of group that we were hanging around. I was hanging around Darian fans, basically Daria fans. But unfortunately, in like, we did a lot of fun stuff that was clean fun, yeah. But then unfortunately in year 10, because of the influences outside of our little cool, uncool group, they decided to have a drinking party, the first drinking party. Back then there was those little lolly alcohol drinks, they still got them now, like what's it called, Bacardi Breezer or something, and they just wanted to like drink a lot of those and see what it was like, because more than me, these guys were itching to give it a try. And a lot of things happened that night. I don't want to go into it, but a lot of people did stuff, a lot of people changed, and you could say a lot of people from my uncool group went to the popular kids. This is like the transition. So I mean, I still like hanging around these people, but things changed, man. Things changed. They changed, man. And they started talking more about drinking and stuff, and parties and whatnot. They still do cool stuff, I hang around them for quite a bit because of that. But like, they changed, man. They changed. And people try to egg me into it. Come on, give it a try. Test it out or whatever. And I was like, nah, I'd rather not. Because my thoughts on alcohol at the time were like, it's bad. Like, I don't know, alcoholism. I experienced a bit of that, and it's not my cup of tea, so to speak.